really seeing as well. But my name is Jeff Kaplan. I am the managing director of a consulting firm called Think Strategies, which I founded about a dozen years ago now, when we were beginning to move beyond the dot-com bust, when a lot of folks were actually disenchanted, if you will, or at least disappointed with a previous generation of application service providers and utility computing services that failed to really match up to expectations around the idea that we could buy or rent or subscribe to applications on demand and we could get computing power on demand. The previous generation of those services really failed to hit the mark. Despite that, I had faith. I thought that the marketplace would evolve. And I basically put a stake in the ground as Think Strategies and said, I'm going to do all I can to help this marketplace move in that direction. And as I got involved in the market and saw some very interesting things happening, many of which we'll see manifested in today's conversation, I also decided to help promote that growth by creating something called the Cloud Computing Showplace. If you go online to cloudshowplace.com, you'll see there are over 2,000 companies listed across various categories, 90 of them. Now, the good news is there's lots of choices. The bad news is, and we're going to talk a little bit about this, there are too many choices. And you need help in understanding what's real and what's not, and being able to integrate what you like with what you have. And some of the guys on the stage are going to talk about that. And I've gotten involved also in my own little conference activity around analytics and other things. So I like also hearing about the business process aspect of this because I think that's key. That what we're seeing today is the cloud isn't just to get cheaper compute power or to get skinnier apps. What it's really about is to change the way in which the marketplace operates, but more importantly, the way in which businesses operate. And there's a lot of exciting things happening there. So that's who I am. Let's go down to the panel and I'll let Keith talk about who he is. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. My background is in software. I have to do with software systems to allow people to create solutions easily and effectively. So my experience with Fujitsu goes back quite a ways with a BPM system, because that's the way inside of house people would develop applications with BPM. Fujitsu is not a household word around North America, but we are the third largest IT and services provider in the world. We are also the 8th largest software company in the world. So we know a lot about technology, and recently we've gotten into cloud computing. It's not surprising. If you think about it, Fujitsu's background was in mainframes. And what's a big cloud computing server, but basically a big mainframe. But it's opened up so that people can self-provision their own services, their own machines, their own hardware, the memory and everything they use, and can use that to host their applications there. So that's one aspect that I bring to this. But I was also very interested in the Cordys platform. We'll hear a lot about that. But we saw that as a great opportunity for a next generation platform, a cloud-native platform. It really is revolutionary in some ways. And we wanted to offer that to our customers and put that together with our consulting operation, which it has a lot of experience with different ERP systems and helping customers develop applications together with their ERP system. And in some cases, there's a new generation of applications out there to really bridge the ERP out to the customer and back in very rapid business cycles. And that's what we're seeing using this. So I'm based in California, so I'm not used to weather. But it's nice to experience it every now and then and come out here. We talk about clouds in California, and we know it means a big compute center.
There you go. John.
There's several of those guys in listening. That's pretty cool. I'm John Winley. I'm Vice President of Client Advocacy, which is a really bizarre job title we came up with a few years ago. But what it gets to is I'm at Savvis. Savvis is about $1.3 billion IT outsourcing company. Our primary focus is in managed hosting, co-location, and network. We compete against all the big companies in that space. We have our own public and private cloud products. We are top right quadrant in that area, as well as managed hosting. Our company was purchased about a year and change ago by CenturyLink, and we have continued to freestand as a separate entity within CenturyLink, which is the #3 telecommunications company in the United States. Telling Fujitsu, it's like, you wouldn't have figured that. It's like, wow, that's amazing. But CenturyLink